Hey, everybody. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day. As always, if you are coming on live, please drop into the comments below hi and where you are tuning in from, or hashtag live, hashtag replay if you are watching this on the replay. But also, please let me know in the comments what city, what state, what country, what province, what continent, where in the world are you watching this training to and from? But also, just a reminder, we are about 10 days away from our first workshop of the year. If you're watching this and you are interested in learning how to build your personal brand on LinkedIn and on social media, my wife and I are hosting a 5-day workshop called the Personal Branding Blueprint. It's from Monday the 23rd to Friday the 27th, 8 to 9 p.m. EST, live and recorded, with the replays available till the following Sunday, February 5th, which is also my sister's birthday. So if you would like to register, just drop an I do in the comments below. We will get you that registration link. So again, as you're coming on live, please say hi and where you're tuning in from, or hashtag live, or the city, state, country, province, continent that you're watching this from. And I'm going to be actually going over this training that we're doing today on ways to increase the number of recommendations on LinkedIn I have never, ever done before. But what I will say is that this came about from a poll question that I did yesterday. And I asked people how many recommendations do they have? Now, not endorsements. So I'll show you the difference between the two. You know, how many people have recommended you, your services, and what you do? How many people have written testimonials for you and what you do? And it was, 0. It was, I think, 1 to 50. It was then, I think, 50 to 200. And then the other option was other, comment below. Now, the other thing that I get from people, because when people actually go to my profile and they see that I have 503 written testimonials on my LinkedIn profile, they're like, how did you get that many people to write a testimonial? How did you collect that many recommendations? Well, there's a number of factors that go into that. And I'm going to be covering the 3 ways to increase those, because social proof is everything. Your personal brand is everything. You want the words of other people to speak it for you. Now, let me just give you an example. So I'm going to share my screen really, really quickly. And again, as you're coming on, just so I know, if I'm coming through loud and clear, just type in the chat box loud and clear. I just want to make sure there's no technical issues with the training, because this is going to help you build not only your reputation, but it's also going to build your social proof. So if I'm coming through loud and clear, just drop into the comments loud and clear. But also, please let me know what city, state, country you are watching this to and from. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly. Just give me a sec. I'm going to bring this up. Let's go over here. Okay. So here is my LinkedIn profile. So you can see, and as I go down, you're going to see a couple different things. Now, first and foremost, there's a different area that sometimes people get confused. So skills right here are different than endorsements. So these are the things that you're skilled at, right? Now, you can list 50 skills, but the most you can get endorsed for a specific skill is 100. So once you get to 99, or once you get to 100 endorsements of that skill, it goes 99 plus. So if I was to show you all of my 50 skills, you can see every single one of them is at 99 plus. So I have 50 different skills and they are all at 99 plus. Now, that didn't happen overnight either. That took a while to have happen. But again, that is something that everybody should work on as well. So underneath skills is the recommendation section right here. Okay. And you can see 503 recommendations. The most recent one is actually today. So you want to be very proactive in making sure that you're getting recommendations. So just to kind of give you an example, I'm going to hit the plus sign right here. And this is where you can either write someone a recommendation. So I've actually given almost 200 I've written myself. I've almost written 200 recommendations myself. So I practice what is called back scratching. So if someone is going to take the time to write me a recommendation, I'm going to take the time and write them a recommendation because it's good business practice. So just say, there's a recent person that I worked with. So I'm going to hit the plus sign. I'm going to hit ask for recommendation, and I'm going to search for someone. So I'm going to search for my client, Holly. So I'm going to, bring up her name right there. I'm going to hit continue, and then it's going to give you a couple different options. So the relationship, how do you know Holly? So Holly was a client of mine. And at what point? So she took my LinkedIn virtual course. So it's that position. And this is the template that typically comes up automatically. But I personalize the message by putting on the end of this, I would be happy to write one for you in return if you would like me to. Good. And then I'm going to hit send. And then it basically sends out that request. And what that looks like, if you go to messaging, it's right here. So this went out to Holly. Would you write me a recommendation? I'd be happy to write one in return if you would like me to. She clicks on this link, and that basically allows her to then share her thoughts of working directly with me. But again, if someone, to my point, if someone is going to take the time and write one for me, I'm going to take the time to write one back for them if they would like me to. So that's why, yes, I've gotten over 500 recommendations, but I have written almost 200 myself. So if you compound that over the last 9 years, I'm writing almost 25 recommendations a year on top of receiving about 60 per year. So not everyone asks, but if they do, I'm going to write one. So if that's clear and if that makes sense, just drop a Y or a yes in the comments below. Again, if you're coming on late, please do say hi and where you're tuning in from, or hashtag live, hashtag replay if you're watching this on the replay. And please don't forget to let me know in the comments what city, what state, what country, what province. And again, I just want to make sure the comments are working because I'm not seeing anything coming in on my end. So if someone is able to comment, just drop a Y or a yes, just so I know that the comments are actually working. I don't know if sometimes from a technical standpoint, sometimes the comments are turned off through the streaming platform that I use. I just want to make sure with the people that are on here live that you actually can comment. So if you can comment, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat box, just so I can make sure that aspect of the training is working. So what I want to kind of move into now are the three methodologies and the three ways to increase the number of recommendations you receive on LinkedIn. Now, from those that are on here live, type in the chat box, how many recommendations do you currently have on your LinkedIn profile? This will just kind of give me a marker of where you all are as far as how advanced you are with the results that you get for people, or maybe you haven't taken advantage of this feature on LinkedIn. So type in the chat, how many recommendations do you personally have on your LinkedIn profile that other people have wrote for you? Now, here are the three ways. The first way is You want to make sure that you're building the right kind of network. So what does that mean? Well, if you're connecting with all of the wrong people, and again, you're just spraying and praying on LinkedIn, and you're not connecting with potential ideal clients, customers, consumers, counterparts, power partners. Well, number one, you're not going to get introductions to the right people through the power partners, which means you're not going to be able to work with those individuals and then obviously pick them up as a client. Number two, if you're not connecting with your ideal clients, customers, consumers, where they're not going to onboard you or hire you or purchase something that you're offering, it negates and cuts off the opportunity for you to even ask for a recommendation. Because if you're not picking up clients from the efforts that you're having on LinkedIn, again, it's not that you're doing anything wrong. You're probably just connecting with the wrong people. Because on average, I would say at least at a minimum, I have one new client coming into our company a week on LinkedIn. So right there, that's 4 new clients a month that I have the opportunity to work with to get them results to then ask them to write me a recommendation. So most of the time, if you're not gathering recommendations, it sometimes and most likely is correlated to the network that you're building. Now, one of the best ways that you can start off gathering recommendations is starting with people that are allies of you. So this could be friends, this could be family, this could be employees, this could be a coworker, ex-coworker, an ex-client, a current client, and you want to ask them to speak to your credibility, ask them to speak to your professionalism, ask them to speak to your zone of genius. So if you're connected to people that you know well, that know that you do great work, that you're very skilled at what you do, ask those individuals first. Ask your friends, ask your family, ask your counterparts, ask your allies to get the ball rolling. So if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the comments below. Again, if you've come on late, hi in where you're tuning in from, or hashtag live, or just type in the city, state, country, province, wherever you're watching this in the world. Hashtag replay if you're watching this on the replay. And don't forget to like, love, support, whatever reaction you would want. Share this video, tag some people in the comments. And also, if you would like to learn how to build your personal brand using LinkedIn and social media, just drop an I do in the comments below if you would like to attend our 5-day workshop called the Personal Branding Blueprint from January 23rd to January 27th. So number one, make sure you're building the right kind of network so you can pick up the right type of clients, so you can get those people results where they would be willing to then write you a recommendation. But you can start with people that you know first. Number two, make sure what you're actually doing and teaching is getting people the results that they want. Underpromise and overdeliver. Underpromise and overdeliver. It's the best thing that I can say. Now, here's the thing. If you have a product, a good, a service, a program, a course, and it's not getting people results, you may have to go back and do some reevaluating of what is not hitting home. What am I leaving out with what I'm doing that is not getting people results? But are you doing the opposite? Are you under delivering and over promising? Because that happens a lot. People like to over promise. Oh, I could easily help you bring in an extra $10,000 a month in 2 weeks. Well, anyone that says that to the right person, they're going to say, well, sign me up. But can you back that up? I don't make any of those promises. I always under promise and over deliver. Meaning, I recently worked with a client who ended up closing a $75,000 deal after a few weeks of implementing the strategy that I taught them. I didn't tell them that was going to happen. What I did tell them is you're going to generate new qualified connections that you can turn into qualified leads that can be then converted into qualified phone calls where you'll have the opportunity to close some new clients. Now, I didn't say how quickly that was going to happen or how many, or the fact that they were going to close a $75,000 contract, but that's what ended up happening, and it happens all the time for my clients. I had another client I recently reconnected with because I'm now training his team. He's done about 3.1 million in extra revenue into his company over the last 2 years leveraging LinkedIn. So again, it happens all the time. If people follow the system that I've created, they're going to get results. Now, that's the one thing that you want to make sure. People will always be willing to write those recommendations for those that get those results. So if you're sending recommendation requests out there and no one's writing them, it's nothing on that person, but you then have to ask yourself, is there something that I need to do to tweak what I'm teaching? Is there something that I need to do to refine this program that is going to allow people to get better results? So if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the comments below. Again, you want to make sure that what you're doing is getting people results. Underpromise, overdeliver. The more results you get for people, the more recommendations you're going to get. And now the third thing, and this is probably the easiest one to cover. The easiest one to cover. You have to A.S.K. to G.E.T. You have to ask in order to get. You could be gathering many, many recommendations. Maybe you're not even asking. Have you been asking those that you've collaborated with, worked with, did introductions for? Maybe you guested on their podcast. Maybe you did a guest training. Have you asked those people for recommendation? If you're not asking, you're not going to get. One of the simplest things that I always teach people on LinkedIn is start getting some recommendations. Get some social proof. If you want to learn how to better position what you're doing on LinkedIn for your business, get some recommendations. Here's the other great thing. As you get those recommendations, guess what? You can download those recommendations. You can export what people have written, and you can use them in quote tiles for success posts. You can put them on your website as testimonials. Once someone writes that recommendation for you, it's in your LinkedIn database for you to download. And you have all of those recommendations now to leverage. So again, when someone is saying, well, I'm not sure if, I'm ready to work with you, what kind of results have you gotten for clients? Well, you can say, head over to my LinkedIn profile and the hundreds of recommendations and testimonials I've gathered over the last few years. It's not difficult to get recommendations if you're getting the right results for people. If what you're doing is getting people results, they will be happy and thrilled to write you a recommendation. So again, in review, make sure that you are building the right kind of network of the right connections that eventually can be converted into the right type of clients or power partners for introductions and collaborations. Make sure what you are doing is teaching, what you're doing and teaching is getting people the results that they want. Underpromise, overdeliver, and you have to ASK to GET. You have to ask in order to get. So again, I would love to hear from all of you. Drop into the comments below. What was your biggest takeaway and aha moment from today's training? Get those recommendations, build that social proof, and start building that business. Love and gratitude to each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, everyone.